Being one of the first new gacha games to release in 2024, Atelier Resleriana, or however you want to pronounce it, takes the Aetelier series and turns it into a gacha game. Being developed by Koei, Tecmo, and Akatsuki games, they bring us a new experience with using the Aetelier IP. This is my first impressions for this game, so if you are a fan of the series, then this video will solely focus on the overall first few hours playing this game. And yes, I do know that this game is not even remotely close to what the actual games have to offer. I will be solely viewing this game from a perspective of just a gacha game utilizing a pre-existing IP. Amongst the sea of other gachas out there, like similar to like the 7 Deadly Sins or Black Clover, you know, just solely viewing this as just a gacha game. I like playing new gachas that come out, and I just like to, play them, see how I like them. But I thoroughly did enjoy this amongst the most that is out there, and I just want to talk about the overall gameplay loops and mechanics to, so of you guys to expect during your time playing this. So let's talk about the gameplay. Right? Upon first moments of the game, I feel like this gacha truly excels at how heavy the story is implied, upon with the game having longer cutscenes with fully fleshed out voice acting, which can be rare in most gacha titles. The main gameplay loop is understanding that this game is heavily animated, cinematic turn-based with some extra mechanics that can affect how the game turns work. But during battle, each character has 3 different forms of attacking, and the main mechanic that can change things up during fights is the burst skills and the burst panels. Burst skills is the character's ultimate, which are heavily animated as well and looks great. But the burst panels appear on top of your character's model at the bottom left hand screen, and I'll let you know that this is a buff or a debuff for the character given that appears on. All enemies do have a stun gauge, which can be broken when most characters like the breakers, which abuse the hell out of the stun gauge, but every character has a specific role, specifically like Shelestera, which makes her great at stunning enemies. Once that enemy is stunned, they lose their attack order and get sent to the back of the line. To help further improve your time in battle, the game offers the synthesis mechanic, which lets players combine materials to help make items by using waifus you obtain that help make powerful recipes and craft them to equip to your team. But in order for you to get the absolute most benefits out of the recipes, the game does a great job at explaining how the character's color and abilities can affect how the equipment works. But to be able to obtain more recipes, there is a progression board which completes as you continue to go through the story to allow you to craft more armor, more weapons, and more accessories. But one of the bigger equipments that you can apply to your roster is the Memoria, which acts as a massive buff to help further improve your squads, and you can use up to 3 pieces of equipment to truly maximize the benefits of your characters, with the game allowing multiple ways to improve yourself, like using the growth board to help increase the stats of your individual team. And once you unlock the quests, you can do training or material quests, which acts as the game's way of collecting materials to further improve everyone and awaken them to become much stronger. Dungeons also help too. We do have dungeons in this game, and basically the dungeons act as a gathering spot and as well as a grinding enemy spot, so you can get more materials through the dungeons, and of course you can get a sweet XP taking care of the bosses of each dungeon. Now, lastly, I do want to talk about the wishing system, which is the integral part of any gacha. This allows you to obtain more characters. I do play as a free-to-player, and the animation to summon is heavily animated too. I really like the summoning animations that like a lot of games have started doing, and they change up and stuff, but man, they outdid themselves. This is one of the best animations I've seen, like fully animated. And I haven't felt the need to either spend money either, so the game does actually offer ways of being able to have free summoning crystals. But I do want to talk about the visuals and overall sound design of the game. Visuals for the whole game looks great. It definitely fits the art style of the previous Atelier games, having this vibrant and beautiful art style, very pleasing to the eyes. The voice acting for the story content really helps bring the world and characters to life, really bringing the characteristics of them to life, but the cutscenes are pretty lengthy, and it's great to see the character models are very animated. It helps the storytelling and understanding the personalities of each character. While grinding through everything, the soundtrack has absolute bangers, bar for bar, with these nice upbeat slice of life vibes that you kind of receive from some anime, but they really turned it up just not like it. So it is still pretty hyped while just like slowly grinding through some of the levels. But on to my final verdict with this game. For 4 hours of game time, I actually really enjoyed the gacha version of the actual series. Yes, once again, like I said in the beginning of the video, I do know that there's a huge difference between the gacha and the real game. And like I said, I've been solely focusing on the gacha itself. For a free mobile and PC counterpart, it's kind of hard to truly compare the two entities, but the story really does carry the gacha game. It carries it pretty heavy. You know, I stayed and played, like watched and stuff, and actually read and listened, and I feel like the story really does add a bigger element to help this game, so it's not just another shelled out turn-based gacha RPG, which makes the game a lot more enjoyable than most other gacha games. I love how cinematic the camera work is during battle and how the ultimates look very cinematic. I do give this game a good 7 out of 10. It's another gacha game. You played one, you play them all, but like I said, some of the extra features, including the story, really excels this game to, you know, be one of the, you know, first RPG gacha games of the year. I do believe if you want to try out a new gacha game and be able to play on PC and mobile, story heavy game with some good difficulty spikes, yeah, you could definitely try it out for sure. I don't see why not. If you're a fan of the actual Atelier games and you want to try it out, it's not going to be the exact feeling as the real deal, but you must treat it as its own thing. But as always, let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section below. And it's been your host, Chaos DTV, here at Chaotic Inc., signing out. Peace.
I make them manifest. I don't sleep, that's so weak. Don't plan to rest. I'm from a hood where you die if you don't pack a vest. No culinary degrees, but whipping crack the best. Chefing, hard times taught lessons. Praying every night to pull up in park Benzes. What's my home is what you call trenches. You wouldn't last a day seeing life through all lenses. It's all tension, no sun, and rain and plenty. Full-time job, still can never make a penny.